Okay, can you tell me your name, where you're from, where you live, a little bit about you?
I am Theresa Bledsoe. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi, raised in Leland, Mississippi.
Theresa, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood?
In October of 1972, I was 6 years old. My little brother was 3. He was accidentally shot and he later died. But that was a change for our whole family. We started going to church. My dad got saved. He was an alcoholic prior to this.
How do you think that molded you?
It was awesome. We were in church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. And I think that is my background.
Do you ever remember having a conversation with your dad?
Our relationship was a little strained. My daddy was a truck driver. He was not at home a lot. So our mama was our mama and daddy most of the time. And for a long time I thought, well, he would rather be away from us. But as you get older, you understand, that that's all he knew.
Can you tell me a good story of whenever you were a childhood with your dad involved?
He let me drive his most prized possession to school. It was like a 1970 something black and white El Camino with a racing engine in it. And yes, I did race it.
Can you tell me a little bit about your teenage years, maybe?
I was a nerd. My sister will tell you I was always reading.
You enjoyed books?
Yes, still do.
Good, good. Did you have a lot of friends growing up?
A few. I would say not a lot, but a few.
Can you tell me a little bit about from your teenage years to maybe young adult life? How was your life?
It was wild there for a little bit. I was in an abusive marriage for 8 years. Got married at the age of 2021, I can't remember. Yeah, that marriage lasted for 8 years. He was an alcoholic. Cheated a lot.
Do you feel like it scarred you some?
Yes. I have triggers.
Can you tell me a little bit about when did you decide that you were ready for a change? Or what was the pivotal moment that made you think?
He came home one Saturday night. I'm not gonna give all the gory details. It was a huge fight. I almost killed him. Had a gun to his head. His next to the oldest sister came in. I gave her the gun. And that was the moment I said, this is it.
The next steps for you were what?
Divorce and partying way too much.
What would you say was the influence for the partying?
Just to numb the pain. The alcohol.
The hurt?
Mm-hmm.
How did you see yourself then when you left compared to...
I didn't leave. I put him out.
Okay. How did you see yourself then? What was your self-worth like?
Ooh, it was low. Real low. And James will tell you right now, there are times when I don't feel worthy.
Did you ever feel like in any kind of way that you had to do something to earn love? Or did you just feel like there's no use in it, I'm not worthy?
Yeah, I had to earn it.
Going from there, what was the pivotal moment for you, or maybe not pivotal moment, but what was the moment whenever you realized that you needed Christ?
When we found out Dakota had an addiction problem.
Tell us a little bit about being a mom of a child that has that problem that you can't control, you can't do anything about.
It's probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. But I learned real quick my Band-Aids were not working. Because I tried to fix it. I tried real hard. But when I went on my Emmaus walk last year of March, I left her at the foot of the cross.
Tell us a little bit about the feeling when you left her there.
It was wonderful. It was like a weight was just lifted off my shoulders. Like, God had it. He's got it. I don't have to carry that anymore. I don't have to worry about it anymore.
Do you sometimes feel like you still do?
I do. I still worry.
Going before then even, when were you saved? Tell me a little bit about your salvation.
I was saved at 9 years old at Glendale Baptist Church. But until like 19 or 20, I did not have a relationship with God. I knew him. I just didn't have a relationship.
What do you think made you want to seek out God a little bit more the older you got?
Knowing that I needed him and getting more into the Word. You just get hungry for more.
Would you say that your struggle being a mom caused any of that?
Oh,
or
yes.
So you were put in a difficult situation where you didn't know what else.
Right. And had nowhere else to go.
We all go through that all the time. In saying that, I had another question for you. Do you think, in some way, shape, or form, that you could have done any different?
I don't think so.
I think we all need to know that. You know, looking back on our circumstances, we don't need to think or regret
That's her
our
choice.
decisions.
It's her choice, not ours.
And you've done what you can do, and it gives you a peace.
Yes.
I think all parents need to know that, and like I said, in some way that we've done what we can do for our kids.
Yep.
We're talking about the word remember. And in remembering all that you've been through in your life, the different things that you've wanted and desired, could you tell me one thing that you've wanted, that you've really wanted? And in saying whatever it is, did God fulfill that want for you?
Well, back in the 70s, my mama drove a Volkswagen van to pick up kids for church. And then when the bus ministry came open at church, I was like, I'm going to be part of that. And I have been. And it's awesome to see those kids. And it's like, they'll be talking about something and you'll be like, well, I remember when I did that when I was like 12 years old. Or, you know, I remember playing softball. It ain't like I forgot about it, but...
Does it make you feel like your cup runs over?
Yes.
You can see the joy in it whenever you're doing that ministry, whenever you're in it. Tell me something about any of the kids. Just somebody, I don't want you to mention a name, just somebody that stands out to you.
The one girl, we can share hair secrets because we have the same kind of hair. And oh, she was bad. She was bad when we started. But since then, she has been saved, and she's setting an example for the other girls.
And that's so awesome
It is.
to know that you've made a difference in somebody else's life, not by doing anything, but by just walking alongside.
Just being there.
Would you say that being in that bus ministry has helped you?
Yes.
Even though you went to be of help?
Yep. I just want to ride. Now I'm driving. It's just, if you don't know, you just don't know. the peace that it gives you, that these kids need us.
We've talked a lot about different things, but is there anything that you have not talked about that you would like to mention?
I'm trying to do this without crying. In 2020, when my mama passed away, she was in the nursing home, and because of COVID, we couldn't visit. I had to FaceTime my mama the last few minutes of her life. But with that being said, at least I never had to go visit her and she didn't know who I was.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that that has helped you in some kind of ways? Not to not have had that time with her, but to now be able to look at life as being fragile?
Yes. But it gave me a peace, and that's hard to explain too, but it's just a peace because I know where she's at. But just to know she's not suffering anymore also.
How long ago was it that you lost your mom?
2020.
So it hasn't been long at all. The wound's still fresh.
July 10th, 2020. And then the day that James and I both got rebaptized and rededicated our lives was July the 10th, 2022. And it did not dawn on me till like 10 or 11 o'clock that night. I was like, it's been 2 years.
Well, I know that I'm blessed because I know you and you are my close friend. And I can call you anytime. Teresa's faithful. How would you say that God has made your heart to be as faithful as it is? Is there anything in God that you see that has made you that way because you want to be like Him?
I would say our church friends have really helped.
Yes.
Lisa has pulled me out of my comfort zone.
And you're going to be the star of the show. I would say Jesus will. I'm very proud of you. Thank you for doing what you've done today. And I pray others get blessed.
Me too.
Theresa, do you want to end it with anything special?
I would like to say thanks to my husband because he loves me like Jesus Christ does. Good, bad, ugly, happy, sad. He loves me.
That means a lot, doesn't it?
It does.
Okay. Well, this is Miss Theresa Bledsoe, and she is saying goodbye.